everyone. What an amazing event, by the way. Thank you. I hope I can continue to inspire everyone as much as I've been in the last few days. So today I'm going to talk a little bit more about how we've been modernizing the TV experience and all the balancing acts that we've had to face along that way. I'm going to focus the first half of the presentation on how we've been adapting to all of the change in the US, and then some of the learnings that we've taken from that experience to help with our global expansion. Now, I'm sure many of you can appreciate expanding globally is an incredibly complex beast, and what works in the US market does not necessarily mean that it works around the rest of the world, but we've had some incredibly powerful learnings along the way. Now, I'm sure, well, it's no secret to anyone in this room, that the pace at which media consumption habits change just accelerates every single day. We already live in an all-screen future where consumers choose how, when, and where they want to consume content. It's an always-on, on-demand society. So if you look at the US total video consumption in the US, 50% is already via streaming. And that's forecast to get to 70% in the next 5 years. And within streaming, the majority is already ad-supported. So ad-supported streaming is the future of the advertising ecosystem. Now that we've seen that trend translate across the globe. But I'm preaching to the converted. We all know this. So we all know that streaming is booming. It's amazing, but I do think it's fair to say that we as an industry, we're all still trying to figure out how we navigate the industry and move forward in amidst all of that change. So for us, the answer has been AVOD. When we launched our very own streamer in the US, Peacock, we did so from the ground up with ad innovation and user experience in mind. And from the very get-go, from the beginning, we have been, leaning into that whole dual revenue stream model, where we've been inviting advertisers in from day one, when a lot of our competitive sets have actually been keeping advertisers out. And now that we know the model works, our very own Peacock's been joined by pretty much every other premium programmer in the space. So we know it's working. We know our approach is working, because today, Peacock has double the average ad-supported scale in the US market. Last year, it was the fastest growing streamer throughout 2022, the most downloaded streaming app. And we had such incredible engagement because Peacock's what we would term as a complete streamer. Now, what I mean by that is its breadth and diversity of content. So we have live sports, entertainment, so it's pay one day and date, original, scripted, unscripted, a huge entertainment library, and news. So it's a huge breadth of content. The other areas that we've been focusing on that have led to some of the success have been that we've absolutely prioritized a pristine ad experience. So what that means is lower ad loads, shorter breaks, tighter quality control. Because we haven't only been focused on delivering the best possible experience for consumers and advertisers, but we also wanted to drive performance. So Peacock was the first streamer to actually go into the US market with the lowest ad load, so less than 5 minutes an hour. And what we found is that with a lower ad load, you get longer viewing times. And with longer viewing times, you get a higher ARPU. And it's all about the ARPU. The other area that we really focused on is on interactivity and commerce. So now 60% of our streaming business in the US is data enabled. So that means it gives us a lot more flexibility to innovate, specifically on a creative front. So for example, My Shop TV, it's our TV shopping experience. We partnered with a company called Curve Interactive, which to create this computer vision algorithm. And it's been trained up on millions and millions of different products. So that when a consumer's watching a show, it can quickly identify an identical product or a product very similar, and then they can go and buy that product at the click of a remote. So for example, if they are watching Top Chef, they can go and buy the aprons that the contestants are wearing, or the plates that they're eating off right there with the click of a remote. And because it's data enabled, it means that the products that get surfaced to them are relevant because it's based on what they're interested in. So, in order to drive a successful streaming business, you need to have ad-supported scale, breadth and depth of content, a pristine ad experience that's powered by high-impact interactive ad formats. Now, we're a leading broadcaster around the globe. So one of the real challenges that we have to face is how we transcend the profitability from linear to the streaming world. Because as the saying goes, you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Now, we know linear is profitable, and we've seen that migration to the streaming world. So for us, the way we look at it is a business in total, linear plus streaming together. And we continuously educate in all of our marketing partners on the benefits of buying both. But in order for us to make that pivot and balance that pivot, it all comes down to the content again, and content availability across both. So we reach 1 billion consumers around the globe, and we invest 26 billion in content every single year. So in order for us to deliver that content to audiences wherever they spend their time, which is across all screens, we have to make sure that there's content availability across linear plus streaming together. And now this is an incredibly costly pivot because streaming's a newer business. So you've got platform costs, you've got technology costs, you're building a new brand, and we are right in the middle of that costly pivot right now. But we have full belief and faith in the fact that we believe in the long-term success of this model. Our guiding principle, though, is that linear plus streaming together is a growth business. And when we added those two categories together last year, we saw revenue growth. It's just about how you manage that pivot from one to the other. Now, the key is you have to drive parity. Now, in 2022, we did this massive currency test and learn, and it was with our partner, iSpot. So we had 158 brands across 40, all of the different holding companies, and it represented 40% of our upfront volume. Very big test and learn. And from the data, we found that the optimal CTV weight in the media mix was about 30 to 40% of total impressions. Now, this was done in 2022. Everyone in this room would know that streaming has grown significantly in that last year alone. So that should more likely be around 45 to 50% now. But what's interesting is if you look at the reach curve, as you increase CTV weight, you'll see there's an increase in incremental reach on linear. So what that highlights is that buying linear plus streaming together means marketers can maximize their cross-platform reach. Now, the sobering fact, though, is that most marketers are still actually sitting in the bottom left-hand corner, so they aren't currently maximizing their cross-platform reach for their current CTV investment. But if you have a streaming-only or a linear-only approach, it just simply doesn't work because you're not reaching your total audience. So this is exactly why we built one platform, where we put linear and digital on a level playing field to allow marketers to have greater impact. We merging together the capabilities of big tech together with the content of big media, leveraging the power of partnerships. So it's TV modernized. We bring in so you've got the benefits of TV together with the benefits of all of your new digital capabilities. Now, in order for us to reap the benefits from a one platform offering, we've had to break legacy across 4 key pillars that underpin one platform overall, starting with data and identity. So that's moving beyond small data, leveraging broad age and gender demos, to big data, using precision audiences and data from our own first-party data and data from trusted partners and advertisers. Activation and automation. So moving away from manual planning when you're looking at all the platforms in silos to automated planning when you're making the most of all platforms. Ad innovation, where we're moving beyond the legacy, static, cluttered ad experience to an ad experience that's better for both consumers and marketers alike. And that's powered by high-impact interactive ad formats and lower ad loads. And measurements, where in the US, we've moved beyond delivery-based measurements that's based on 40,000 households to actual measurement leveraging consensus-level data based on 30 million households, and is moving from delivery-based to outcome-based measurements that delivers on KPIs that truly mean something to our brands. Now, one platform has been a journey. It hasn't happened overnight. But we've been working towards this one platform future for many, many years. We launched one platform in 2020, the same year that we launched Peacock. But we've been working towards that for a while before that, from when we launched our data-driven linear product in 2016. We had to overcome a huge amount of misconceptions in order to get the business where it is today. Firstly, advertisers didn't really believe at that time that you could accurately, effectively, and efficiently target audiences on linear. They also believed that linear was purely built for brand building and couldn't deliver on your low funnel outcomes. Now, we've got hundreds of case studies that can prove against both of those outcomes. We've had the same challenges with one platform. But add to that infrastructural issues, organizational silos. You know, marketers have been telling us for ages, we want to be able to buy an audience across multiple platforms. But when it came to the crunch, they just weren't set up that way. Different linear buying teams, digital buying teams, planning systems, different booking systems. So whilst we evolved to drive efficiencies and break all of those organizational silos, we need the industry to move with us. And finally, the most complex of them all, which is scaling that across multiple markets. Now, that in itself, in one market, is a huge undertaking. But when you're looking around the rest of the world, you've got 190 different countries, all with their own unique nuances. So if you just simply have a global streaming strategy, it means absolutely nothing unless you know how to act locally. Now, taking the lessons learned from our one platform experience and journey in the US, we truly believe there's an opportunity for us to better serve our audiences, our advertisers, our agencies, the same way as we've been doing in the US, but on a global basis. Because there hasn't been one global platform that can deliver content and audiences at scale, and I mean localized content to those audiences in their relevant markets, that's streamlined, that's powered by technology to enable marketers to do multi-market campaigns on a global basis. So we saw that as an opportunity. So when we looked at our global expansion, we could look at it in one of two lenses. First, owned and operated, or expansion through partnership. And we went the partnership route, because partnership it's in our DNA. We truly believe that partnership and collaboration will shape the future. So in order for us to deliver a global scaled video product, to fundamentally transform a fragmented video ecosystem that has local relevance, we knew we had to move beyond our own organization. Now, if you look at the streaming penetration in the European market, 54% is via your local BVOD players. So collectively, there's a lot of power, there's a lot of scale, and there's a huge amount of opportunity to deliver enormous impact. And a shared philosophy from pretty much all the TV companies, not only in the US, all around the world, as well as distributors, is that we all recognize that we need to deliver or make it easier for the end advertiser to access our multi-platform premium supply and reduce friction. So that means standardization, interoperability, and so how you use data in a privacy-compliant way, measurement, reporting, all of those ingredients we need to come together in order for us to deliver simpler ease of scale, simpler access to scale. And the only way we can compete with the organizations that are currently doing that, providing that level of simplicity, being the platforms, is together. So our single biggest mission in global has been to provide an alternative for advertisers. And the more we talk to the buyer side, the more it validates the fact that they want an alternative. Because a fragmented video ecosystem breeds a huge amount of complexity. If I was a global CMO today, I'd be terrified because you've got a CFO breathing down your neck, wanting to know exactly where you're putting your money that's going to drive product off shelves and drive ROI. And you have 12,000 platforms in Europe alone. Every single market has varying consumption habits. You get streaming penetration varies market by market. There isn't a single global streaming platform that delivers the breadth of content, news, entertainment, sports, outside of Peacock in the US, But planning complexity. Buyers find managing ad frequency across platforms incredibly complex. And then measurements. Every country's got different KPIs, different standards, different solutions. So there's a huge amount of complexity. So from day one, when we launched this global team, now 2020 was a very important year for Comcast. We rolled out one platform, we announced Peacock, and we launched global. So from the get-go, we've been working so hard together with the buy side, together with the sell side, together with ad tech partners, and all together, we want to figure out how we can tackle that complexity and move the industry forward to provide an alternative. So I am so incredibly excited and proud to be able to stand here in front of all of you and announce, or share the fact that a few weeks ago, we announced our strategic expansion of our global one-platform technology and content offering, which now means that advertisers all around the world can activate against addressable linear, CTV, premium online video across multiple markets through a single buy. They also now get access to the best global to local content across 190 different countries, being the Americas, Europe, Asia, Australia. So we're bringing content and technology together. And our partnership, it's all leveraging the full weight of Comcast assets, where we're uniting the world-class ad tech that's FreeWheel, together with NBCUniversal, a global media and entertainment company, as well as the scale of our local broadcasters and publishers. So that's 100 publishers, 100 broadcasters, 1,000 different publishers. And we're doing this because it caters to advertiser needs. Speaking to the buy side day in and day out, from the moment we launched global, we are talking to clients. What are your biggest challenges? What do you want? How can we better serve you? Scale, simplicity, standardization, transparency, sophistication, flexibility. The advanced technology with FreeWheel enables us to transact, or marketers to transact, direct IO or programmatic, so they can now manage their multi-market, multi-screen video campaigns to drive incremental reach and activate against the full purchase funnel to drive ROI. Now, we've also created a 3-tiered approach. Top tier, which is your premium brand solutions, right down to your bottom tier, which includes audience-based solutions to deliver against some of those lower funnel KPIs. And as part of some of our launch partners that have come on board to really lean into that top tier, is going to be accessible across 10 different markets. But these are the leaders in their markets. Sky in the UK, Italy, Germany. Bell Media, TF1 in France, 7 West in Australia. And we're going to be announcing new partners as we go along. But this top tier is going to be focused on those broadcasters. It's going to be the best inventory, addressable, streaming inventory, access to the best content, live sports, tentpole events throughout the year, access to their first-party data. So it's an incredibly exciting product, and we're going to continuously announce new partners right through over the next few months. And then from the buy side, OMG has joined us as our global launch partner, and they've validated our approach. Today, there's huge friction when trying to execute from a single access point. A multi-market, multi-publisher premium CTV campaign. Add the need for mass reach and scale, standardization of measurement and reporting, and that friction is currently a barrier to entry. One platform marks a significant step forward in solving these challenges. Thank you to our amazing OMG partnerships and partners. But we're just getting started. So just like it was a journey with us in the US and one platform, we are on that journey here from a global perspective, and we're truly inviting all our partners to come on board with us. And we're going to be focused. We've got a lot of stuff to still figure out. We're going to focus on 4 key areas: unifying premium inventory, standardizing measurement. Now, measurement's a team effort. We all know that. We all have to come together so that we can together accurately reflect how people consume media in the modern world. Now, in the US, we joined a joint industry committee, the JIC, in January. Now, that's by no means revolutionary for everyone in this room, but in the US, it's the first of its kind. But we took a page from the European book there, and it's amazing to see all those broadcasters coming together, sharing their streaming data sets, so that together they can build towards this multi-currency future. New commercial innovations. We have got the Peacock Council, where we've been working closely with broadcasters all around the world, sharing insights on ad loads, ad innovation, shifting from GRP to CPMs. And then we're going to be launching our top tier new markets and onboarding a lot more publishers as we go along. So we have a lot of work to do, but it's an incredibly exciting project. And one thing I just want to reiterate before I close is that our future and the future of our whole entire ecosystem and industry is shared. It's not siloed. So together, we can significantly transform a very fragmented video ecosystem. Thank you.
Hayley, thank you very much.